You just heard the sound. This is now time for Restaurant Reality. Our show has three segments each week. The first two include experts on our panel that are joining us, and the last segment is Restaurant Reality. This is the time when we give the full inside scoop and unbridled truth about buying or selling a restaurant. We didn't sell hundreds of restaurants by being afraid of the four-letter words in the industry. The F word for fail and the S word for sale. Today we talk about restaurant menu development. Robin, tell us a bit about that.
Well, the good old days of just having one menu out there and a few specials have really come and gone in the restaurant industry. You really need to service all customers, and today's consumer just won't let you get away with plain Jane menus. At a minimum, you have to consider gluten-free offerings along with peanut-free offerings for the highly sensitive, and then you've got to throw in calorie-controlled portions, and by the way, there's that pesky kids menu too.
Yeah, what we've seen is a expansion of offerings. There's customers are more and more aware, like our expert talked about today, about what they want, what they're looking for, farm to table, locally sourced and food. People want to know where their food comes from, which is a very big difference from 20 years ago. 20 years ago, people said, I just want it. I want to eat it if it tastes good, period, the end. And now, Robin, they talk about calories. They talk about where is it coming from, how is it prepared. So how do you talk us about some of the experts' comments today, Robin, about how do they go about helping?
Well, the reality is it is pretty tough, but it doesn't have to be as hard as it seems. You don't have to have a full-time nutritionist on staff. There are folks who consult, who can take your menu and retrofit certain items for you. And the other thing is you can just go straight to the food suppliers. The food suppliers have multiple options in their inventory, so you can put together this great, small, but flavorful menu that addresses the needs. All you have to do is have a one-page, here's an add-on, here's gluten-free, here's kids menu, here, and I can talk with you as a server what my options are for avoiding any of the peanuts or any of the other nut-type allergies.
Yeah. For those of you listening that have a restaurant and just been listening to the entire show, do not panic. You don't have to go back to your restaurant and kill your entire menu currently and have a whole new menu under 600 calories. This is not at all what this is. But you do need to have these offers. Oftentimes we know, we call it the veto restaurant goers, where there's one person that's got allergies that will drive where you're going. So if you don't have anything to offer, you may lose a party of 4 or 5 or 6 or more people because you can't offer a kids menu or a gluten-free menu or some sort of menu that's got healthy choices to it.
Now, I will say this too, Eric, from a reality standpoint as a restaurant broker, many times those listings that come to us that are asset sales, the owner's just like, get me out of here. If you look at the menu and you look at the comments online, those are the guys that have been skating out there with the same menu for years and years on end. So if your sales have been declining over a period of time, it could be because you haven't addressed really important menu issues. There's a huge gluten-free audience that's clamoring for more gluten-free options, and you just may be missing the boat. And it also could just be your menu is just so stale and old. People aren't coming for a fresh new experience.
That's exactly right, Robin. And you don't need a chef full-time on your staff to develop new things. There's a lot of consulting chefs out there that will come for a week, 2 weeks, prepare new dishes, have you taste them, have your staff taste them, have your best customer come over for a menu tasting, introduce them as daily specials or limited time offers to see if their customers will take on to them. Then they can teach your kitchen staff how to make it, and then they're out the door. So you're not paying them for $50,000-$60,000 a year for this service.
And testing is so important. I like what you said about testing these offers, but the number one test is what's ringing through the cash register. So look at your menu. Every POS system drills down to what's the most popular dish, what's the most popular day part. Take a look at that data with a discerning eye and say, okay, I need to change this or this. I need more of this one and less of this one. And something that's not selling, bump it off that menu and get something new on that will sell.
Correct. That's an excellent point, Robin. You look at your top 10 items, and let's say you're Italian restaurant and you have lasagna, and it's your number one seller. But you may be losing as many sellers. Maybe you can have a healthy lasagna portion with vegetables and different things in it that are going to be offered on your menu, and you develop that by killing 2 or 3 or 4 items at the bottom of your menu that are not selling. Take them out of there. Use some of the products you have. So if you have somebody that can come and help you, guiding you through this, you can find some new source of revenues that will come to you and be loyal to your restaurant. Right, Robin?
Absolutely. And you know what? I have some restaurants right now on the market that are ready for that menu upgrade. Here's an example, Eric. We've got a $39,995. That's right. It's under $40,000 asset
Wow.
sale in town in Atlanta. It was a traditional fish and chips place for years. I mean, we're talking load it up Friday night and sit down and have your fried fish and chips, but it's screaming for a makeover. And the great thing about it is all the equipment is there, all the refrigeration for fresh fish cases are right in the front, and that's ideal for somebody to transform into an updated concept and offer those grills and broils and fish. So it's not farm to table, it's sea to table opportunities for a new owner.
Yeah, you can pick your own fish, they cook it for you, and bring it to your table. What about that? Yeah, that's a great. Robin, I got something else that could be of interest. For those of you out there that are very, very, I would call almost health freaks, gym rats, I've got something for you. I've got an Energized franchise. For those of you that don't know what this is a juice and nutritionist item bar kiosk inside gyms. And it just happened to be, this is also in the Atlanta metro area, but it's inside LA Fitness. Who does not know about LA Fitness? One of the largest national chains of gyms in the country. These are inside, well over 3,000 members in each facility.
And that means low rent, right?
Absolutely. The rent is, I don't think I can disclose on the air, Robin. It's so low, I think the phone would blow up. So we can't even talk about the rent right now. But it's under $1,000, I can tell you that, folks.
And that's what happens when you go inside a building. I've got an office building cafeteria in Buckhead, and it was on the market for $69,995. We put it under contract in just a matter of days. But what's important about that is we met with the landlord yesterday, and the first thing he said is the menu is out of date. And this buyer says, here's what I'm doing. I'm bringing in fresh food. I'm bringing in healthy options. I'm going to have specials every single day. And that landlord was salivating at the idea of that changeover in concept because the prior operator, who's been there, guess how many years?
I would say over 10 years.
That's a good guess because he's been there for 14 years without a menu change. And the reality is you're not going to survive in this business unless you stay current, unless you are paying attention to those trends that are out there, and that includes close attention to that menu, what's happening. And this brand new NRA survey that just came out, the National Restaurant Association survey, any restaurateur that does not go to their website today and pull that up and look at it and then compare it to himself and say, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? How would or should I position myself? They're making a mistake. Would you agree, Eric?
Absolutely, and stay true to your concept and to your line of business. If you're a Tex-Mex restaurant, I know hamburgers are very hot right now. Just don't throw a hamburger out there. Just say, hey, me too, I have a hamburger. Find a creative way to get something along these lines that would fit your menu, but do not just add hamburgers and hot dogs to your menu if you're an Asian restaurant. Right, Ronnie?
We have people that do that all the time, and you have to be careful not to throw a shock to the system. And a menu change can start by offering things on a limited basis, see what happens, and then move forward. That's all the time we have this week. You're joining Eric and Robin Gagnon. We're the restaurant brokers. Remember, you can find us online at WeSellRestaurants.com. Take a moment and like us on Facebook. We're at Facebook.com/WeSellRestaurants. Our Twitter handle, it's Sell Restaurants. And we'll be back with you next week. This is Eric and Robin Gagnon, and we are the Restaurant Brokers.